Hello, everyone. Welcome to Added Flexibility in Drupal core blocks and allow to place discrete pieces of content. My name is Wilfred. I work as a tech lead in Moondraft Innovation Lab based in India. You can find me at will_2091 on Drupal.org and will_nebcon at Twitter. I also have my colleague Samvada joining me. Samvada, do you want to say hi?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Myself, Samvada, and I'm a software developer in Moondraft Innovation Labs. I've been working on Drupal for 2 years, and you can find my Drupal profile at Samvada_Jain_M, and I'm available on Twitter at M_Samvada. Thank you.
Thanks, Samvada. Okay, so the agenda for this session is we'll cover layout builder. We will cover what's the layout builder and some of the introduction of layout builder. We'll go through the anatomy of a layout builder page. Then we'll talk about some of the basic design patterns that's involved in building a page. We'll also see what all other modules that can be used to extend core layout. We'll also see what are the alternatives that we have in Drupal in place of layout builder. And then we'll conclude the session with key takeaways, demo, and questions. Feel free to add your questions in the Q&A. We can take a look at it and answer that back. So, page building expectations. It's always important to consider your content editor page building expectations. And when you're starting to plan out a project, it's you should always know as a developer and as a site builder what your content editor is actually wanted to build a page. What are their goals, and uh, what do they want to do with the page? And part of this we can get in the design phase itself. So I work with very talented designers. Some of them have a Drupal background, and some of them doesn't have a Drupal background. But almost all the design that I get is kind of having this kind of this layout that we see on this screenshot. It will be having a big banner image. It will be having call to action button. It will be built with lots of components. It will have many forms in it. And somehow when you take a look at the page, you will get to know that these pages are somewhat different from your traditional content type templates. And uh, it's very important to know that the content editor wants to build this sort of pages. They want to work with these intuitive pages with very minimal interaction from a developer or a designer, right? So as a developer or as a site admin, as a site builder, you want to anticipate these things and then give the right set of tools to your content editor. And that's where we have Layout Builder in Drupal. So Layout Builder is one such tool in Drupal which will accomplish all those use cases. So what is a Layout Builder? So even before getting to what is Layout Builder, it's important to know the learning curve of Drupal when we compare that with other CMS. So this is a famous image I've taken from lotusmedia.org. This shows the steep learning curve of Drupal when we compare it with other PHP frameworks like Joomla or WordPress. We all know that Drupal is a developer-centric CMS, and usually what we hear from content editor is that the admin UI is not very user-friendly. And due to that reason, in 2017 DrupalCon Vienna, Dries in his keynote has announced a few initiatives which will enhance the content editor and site builder user experience. And Layout Builder is one such initiative, which then later got added to Drupal core. So Layout Builder allows content editor and site builders to easily and quickly create visual layouts for display on content. Layout Builder also enables to create contents which are structured and content based, also known as modular content. Users can also customize layout for a single content or across content types. So Layout Builder got added to Drupal core since 8.5. It got added as an experimental module, and then since 8.7, it became stable. The core modules that's involved in Layout Builder is Layout Builder module itself, and then Layout Discovery. Layout Discovery is the API module which handles layout registration. It is responsible for recognizing all those custom layouts that we create. And the Layout Builder module enables the drag and drop capability. It is built on top of the Layout Discovery module. So that's more or less about the introduction of Layout Builder. Now let's see what are the anatomy of Layout Builder page. So this is an overview of your managed display of a content type when we enable Layout Builder. In this, you can see that the traditional fields are not showing here, and that's because if you go to the layout options and then notice the use layout builder checkbox, when that is enabled, the traditional fields will start hiding, and you will get to see the manage layout button. When you hit that manage layout button, you'll be taken to this page, and this is the main page where we build the actual page, right? So here we have sections and blocks. You can add multiple sections, you can add multiple blocks in a section, you can rearrange blocks, and on the right side you can see all those predefined layouts. You can also have a custom layout and then select that. You also have an option to show the content preview. And this is a page where you add a block. When you add block on the right side, uh, you will be shown the whole list of enabled blocks. You can also create custom blocks in here. And moving on, there will be a block configuration page as well. And this is similar to the normal traditional block configuration. So that's the anatomy of the layout builder. So let's see what are the common design patterns that's involved in layout building. So the first pattern that we have is content feeds. In this pattern, the layout is built with multiple fields inside sections. This is used when we want to give limited flexibility to your content editors. And this can be used when most part of your website is not using layout builder. For example, only there might be a home page or another landing page which is having a one-off design which is very different from your other pages. So in that pages you can enable layout builder, and then you can add those fields which will act as components. You might want to theme those fields. So your fields will be components in that pages. And this approach allows consistency in content representation. So next pattern is a combination of layout builder fields and blocks. This is almost similar to the previous pattern, but in here we'll also have an option to add blocks. And one thing to keep in mind in this pattern is when you're enabling blocks, you don't want to show a whole list of blocks which are not necessary for building that page, that particular page. Instead, you just want to show the relevant blocks, or else the editor will get confused. And the next pattern is entities and view modes. This is by far the most famous pattern that we usually use when we work with Layout Builder. So this pattern is used when most part of the website uses Layout Builder, and every page has got its own unique layout. You might have a home page which is unique. You might have an about us page which is very different from homepage. All those different contents can have unique layouts, and this will give the greatest amount of flexibility to your content editors. You can the entities and view modes, you can have an option to uh, theme different fields and blocks as a different view mode, and then place that in your page. So those are the three um, commonly used design patterns. Now let's jump into the uh, content modules that we can use for extending the core layout. So even before that, let's talk about some of the usual challenges that we come across while working with Layout Builder. The first one that we have is too many options to choose from. Um, Layout Builder is a very powerful tool. So it has got lots of options. And sometimes this might be overwhelming for a content editor, especially for a new user, a first time user. And you might want to show only those relevant options while giving this flexibility. And the second option is an extension of the first one. It's talking about uh, not loading blocks which are unnecessary, and that can have serious implications on the performance of the Layout Builder page. Uh, we even came across a Layout Builder page which took more than a couple of minutes to load, and that's because it on the back end it loads all the enabled blocks that made it very slow. So you don't want to enable all those blocks. There are a couple of modules which are used, which will be helpful to achieve that. We will cover that modules in the coming slides. So the third one is inline blocks won't be reusable. Now, when we talk about blocks in traditional Drupal, it is reusable, right? You create a block and that can be placed at any page, anywhere. But the blocks that we use or blocks that we create while creating a layout, those inline blocks won't be reusable for other layouts. That is in my opinion, that's a problem. And there is an active issue queue that's there in case if you want to make your inline blocks reusable. You can try out the patch. I've given the link to that issue queue. The last point that we have is governance. So few options to extend your layout, core layout is first one is to use those contrib modules. There are vast variety of contrib modules. We will go through some of them. Um, the second one is you can also define your own custom layout in your custom module and themes. The third option is using a layout builder library, which is again a module. So contrib modules which are involved. So the first one that we have is layout builder styles. Layout builder styles is a very useful module where as a developer or as a site builder can have the option to define those very necessary commonly used CSS class which are used for designing or styling the sections and blocks, and then later on your content editor can choose these styles uh, at the time creating the section. And the other good thing about this module is it will generate its own trick files based on each styles. So you can have the full control of theming based on a style. The second module is layout builder restriction. This module provides a nice UI to show and hide the required layouts and blocks. And this is the exact module what we want to use when we don't want to show all the blocks which are required for a layout. Moving on, the next module is block list override. This is another good module which can be used for performance optimization. It gives a configuration page where we can add the ID of a particular block, and those blocks can be made hidden. This will be used along with the previous module. It works well with the layout builder restriction module. So the next module is the layout builder model. Layout builder model gives a nice jQuery pop-up UI. It it gives a model when you are configuring a block. If we don't use this module, for instance, when you are going to configure a block, those fields or block configuration form will be on the right side, on the right panel, which will be very congested. And that is not a good user experience. So it's very important to enable this module. And this uses the jQuery UI, which is in core. So we don't have to download another external library to enable this module. So the next one is layout builder component attributes. This module provides a UI to add HTML attributes to the blocks. Again, to minimize the interaction with or the dependency with a developer or a designer, right? Your content editor can directly add an ID or a style or some data attributes to a block. The attributes can be added for a whole block, or you have an option to add that as in a block title or a content section. The other module is layout builder library. This module can be used when you want to limit the flexibility given to the content editor. You might not want to have your content editor to build a layout. Instead, you might just want to make him select the existing layout while creating the content. So your developer or site builder can configure these layouts, and these predefined layouts can then be selected while creating the content. So the next one is layout builder operation link. layout builder operation link is a nice useful module which will it will have a link provided on the content overview page. It directly takes us to the layout builder page instead of going to the content edit page and then going jumping to the layout builder page. It directly have this link. Layout builder advanced permission is a module which you can enable. It comes with 4 submodules, which will have granular set of permissions, which is relevant to layout builder. Layout builder lock is another module around governance. If you want to make a few section to not modify by the content editor, so you might have a section which shouldn't be modified, and those section can be locked, and the rest is taken care by this module. So that's more or less about uh, uh, the few contrib modules that can be used, but this is not a full list. Uh, we won't be able to cover the whole list, but it's good if you can go to Drupal.org and then see those whole list of modules. There are very useful modules out there. So other approaches for layout building. Um, a good thing about Drupal is for achieving a particular goal, you can have multiple approach. You are not limited to one approach. You will have at least 2 or 3 options, right? So it's very similar in layout building a page as well. So other alternate approaches for layout builder in Drupal is entities and view modes, paragraphs, and bricks. Entities and view modes are in core. We use this approach when we want to minimize the contrib modules and custom coding. We can use this if we feel the preview is not that important. Um, we can use this if the component revision is not that important. Because this is coming from core, it fully supports the translation and localization. The next one is paragraph. Paragraph is a contrib module which allows multiple fields to be grouped together, and then these fields can be repeated multiple times. So if you're looking for a replacement for field collection, this is the module in since Drupal 8. This can be used when you really want your components to be revisionable. So the next module is bricks. Bricks is another content module which will design, or it can build the layout of a field. When we compare that with layout builder builds a page, but bricks will build a field. This will work well with a paragraph and layout builder. It can also be made revisionable and multilingual with additional module. So those are the alternatives that you can use in place of layout builder. Key takeaways. So the first one is content editorial experience is the king, and it's very important. Anything that we build in Drupal, a new feature, we should make clear. We must be also considering the experience of the content editor along with the end user. We should make the content editor's life easier. Um, the next point is multiple approach for layout building. We don't restrict ourselves with the layout builder tool for building the page, but there are also other tools available in Drupal. That's the beauty of Drupal. Enabling layout button on manage display will enable layout builder UI and vice versa. If you want to later on probably disable the layout builder, then your traditional fields will come into place and your page will work like how it was before. There are rich ecosystem of content modules that you can use to extend layout builder functionality. And you can also use custom layout templates if you feel that these content modules are not meeting your requirements. You can go with your custom module, creating your custom template. Any config settings that you uh, create or modify in layout builder page is fully exported and imported using the standard Drupal configuration. There is an exception here for blocks. Blocks is considered as content, so it won't be coming into configuration. So with that, we come to the end of the slide. Now my colleague Samvada will take us through demo. Samvada, over to you.
Thank you, Wilfred. Uh, so, hello everyone once again, and I'll take up the demo part of this simple landing page. So, we have built this landing page using few components and using layout builder. We have a banner component and featured items with a list of featured blocks, and then the customer testimonial. So these components are created using views and view modes. And for reference, we have referred to a Bootstrap template to replicate this page using Layout Builder and the landing page content type. So let's go to content types. And here under content types, I can see two more content types, that is featured articles and testimonial. So these two content types are used for creating the view blocks. And under landing page, we have used the layout builder. So we have used this module, we have used this content type to create the page. Let's go to manage display section, and there are few view modes, and under default view mode we can see the traditional listing of the fields. So we are able to see the listing of the fields because under layout option the layout builder option is not selected. So that is the reason we are able to see the blocks lists. And if I go to the full content view mode, we won't be able to see the list of fields. Instead, we can see a button that is manage layout to configure the layout for this particular content type. That is because we have used the layout builder here. And along with this option, we have a few more options here. That is one is to allow each content to have its own layout customized, which will allow each node to have its own customized layout, and it won't be applicable for any other node, and it won't be reflecting on the content types layout. Also, we have default restrictions available for blocks and sections separately. Under this, we can allow and restrict the blocks as per our requirement, and it will be reflected on the layout builder page. And even for sections, we can allow and restrict the block sections, the layouts. And we have this feature because we have used the layout builder restrictions, that is the contrib module. So let's see the layout for this content type. Here we can see three sections, that is one is the banner and the featured articles and the testimonials. So let me configure any one of the section. I'll configure the banner section. Here I can see the administrative label, and another field is the style. So I'm able to see this style field because we have used the layout builder styles module, that is the contrib module, which allows us to add or create uh, CSS classes specifically for section and other. and components or the blocks. So here we have four styles available, four classes available, and two of them are used here. So the configuration for this module is available in configuration, content authoring, and under layout builder styles. So here you can see the list of the classes, and those are defined separately for based on the type. And even if I need to use the same style or class for both the section and a component or a block, I will have to create it separately based on the type. So under section, for section we have four styles here. So I am able to see the four styles available here. Let me update this section and save the layout. We have already created a landing page using this layout. So let's go to the landing page. This is the landing page with the basic three components, that is the banner, the featured items, and the customer testimonials. Above that, we can see the options view, edit, delete. Along with that, we can see the layout option, which is available because I have allowed each content item to have its own layout customized. So as soon as I click on this layout button, this node page will be considered as a separate entity, and any further changes that is done in the manage display section for this particular view mode won't be applied to this node. So this has a basic structure, that is the three sections. And let me add one more section. So I'll be adding the three column with header section, which is a custom made layout. And I will have to add the administrative label, even if it is an optional field, because it is always a good practice to add administrative label for better understanding and maintainability. I'll select the styles for the section and add the section. So the layout is added, and I will have to add the header block. For the header block, the title, I'll be creating the custom block of type text with the fields title and body. So here we can see the off canvas box much wider than the one that the core layout builder provides. So this is because of the content module layout builder model. So we can set the configurations under configuration user interface. Here we can set the width, height of the off canvas box, the pop-up box, and also we can alter the theme. Going back to the layout, let me add the title. I'll leave the body as it is. And for view modes, I'll select the plans because I'm adding a section for pricing plan. And I'll select the style, and it will be applicable only for the block. Let me add the block. So the custom text block is added. I will have to add the plans now. So for the plans, I have already created three blocks of type plans. Those are custom blocks, and view mode, I'll be selecting plans, and I'll select the styles for the block and add the block. I will do the same for the other two columns. So second one will be the enterprise. Let me select the styles and add the block. Then the third one will be the pro pricing plan. I'll select the view mode, the style, and add the block. So here I have three columns and three blocks added. And also I can add the additional blocks in the same columns, or I can drag and drop it anywhere as I need. So for example, I can swap these. I'll bring these here. So it will be reflected in the view page. Now let me alter an existing block. I'll alter a testimonial block, which is now showing one item per block. Let me do it three and update the block. So let me add one more section for the contact form. For this, I'll select the one column layout, and I will add the administrative label. the style that is applicable only for the section. And now I'll add the header part of type text. So I'll select the view mode and the style for the header block. So the header is added. Now I have to add the contact form. For this, I already have a block, and I'll disable the display title and select the contact form of my choice. And here I won't be selecting the text center because it is a form. So I've added all the blocks and sections. So let's see the preview of this page. So this is the banner that we haven't changed, and this will be the featured items. We haven't changed anything here. This is the new section that we have added. Here there are 3 plans available and the swap worked. Then the customer testimonials, we have changed the items from 1 to 3. And this is the last section that we have added, the contact form. So let's save this layout and see the changes in the view page. So the changes are reflecting here. Uh, all the changes are reflecting here, and these changes will be applicable only for this node, and any other nodes that will be added, newly added, will have the same old layout that is created using the manage layout, created in manage display section. There is also another option to create a layout for a particular node, that is using layout library. So we can use a predefined layout for a particular node. Let me add a new landing page content, and I'll leave the optional fields as it is. And here I have a layout option field. Under that, I have a layout available. This is a predefined layout that is available, created using layout library. And I'll select this, publish, and save it. So this layout is different from the ones that we created earlier, but it is quite similar because we did this for demonstration purpose. In real-time projects, we can use a completely different layout or a theme to for a node under layout library. So here we have used some of the modules and that that is used to extend the core layout builder module. So that's all we have for the session today. We can move on to the Q&A session. Thank you.